Hi, gang. How are you? John Oliver popped in early. Good times. Mmm. Yeah. Zero sugar, sun kissed. Now, here's the sad thing. Did anyone think that diet sun kissed was somehow going to melt off those extra pounds like that? The reason they're called zero sugar is that uh, because they think diet is some sort of a weird promise. Our government knows no bounds, everybody. That's just, it's just stupid. Okay, it's zero sugar. All right. I hope you had a great week. I had a great time. I had a good Valentine's evening with my fish and Maggie the Pooch. How about you guys? How are you doing? My life, let's see here in the fish room. Just got to get stuff done. Doug Gray, the man who is not the reincarnation of an ancient druid, Peter Thiel. That's true. I'm not the reincarnation of an ancient druid. As crazy as that may seem. As crazy as that may seem. It's a beautiful day here in Joplin, Mo. It's 40 degrees and sunny. Not a cloud in the sky. Got my shopping done. Except there is a continued shortage. You know, the shortages stuff is irritating. Yesterday, I go into Sam's Club because we don't have a Costco here. Otherwise, I go to Costco. I go to BJ's Wholesale Club before I go to Sam's Club. We don't have one here. So you go into Sam's, and the thing you have to pick up is my favorite diet beverage, which is a Diet Dr. Pepper, a case of it. $11. Quite the deal. They were out yesterday, so today I'm going, well, maybe it gets in. I'll go check on it. So I forgot coffee of all things. So I swung in. Yeah, they were out of that. They were out of Diet Dr. Pepper still. So I think I'm going to have to go back every day. Not to rub it in, but Costco is fantastic. No, I've been a member of Costco before. You are correct, Doug. It's fantastic. BJ's Wholesale Club is really good too. And yeah, Dryer Buzz at 134. Okay, we got you down. How are those guppies doing, Doug? Any more fry? It's yeah, my fish are doing good. I've been just keeping everything going in. Let's see. Let's see. You never know when I start getting texts from the office, except that shouldn't have been it. I think that may have been my notification. Let's see here. Hey. All right. I don't think I've gotten my my notification, which is crazy. So there you go. Lady Metalhead, what's up? They're doing great. The tiny Mobb Guppy tattoos you put on them are still holding up. Yeah. And by the way, when you tattoo a guppy, it is, shall we say, it is a delicate piece of work. You have to have a steady hand and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I was listening to sort of soft metal, Greta Van Fleet earlier today, and loving every minute of it. And I also listened to some Yngwie Malmsteen. Yngwie Malmsteen, everybody, who is an amazing guitar player. Anthony's fishy friends, where have you been, bro? It's all good. Yeah, so I had something disturbing happen at the office yesterday. I Doug knows the story. So I'm like, I go to work relatively early. I'm sitting down at my computer, banging stuff out, what normal people do. And all of a sudden, I hear a coworker named Tom, but he spells it like Thom, Thom. So I call him Thom. We are Anthony's fishy friends. Yes, we are, Doug. You and I are in on that. You've been more than you like, but you like butt calls. Yep, money, money, money. Yeah, money, good. So I'm sitting there, and Thom and some guy named Waddleganger or something like this. He's got like this weird, Waddledorfer or Waddledopper. I don't know what his name is. He hasn't been there long enough for me to really know. And so they're having a talk about best local pizza. And they both said that Little Caesars was not good. It was cheap, but not good. And all of a sudden, Waddledanger, or whatever his name is, says, my go-to pizza is Domino's. High quality and a great bargain. And I'm going, really? I'm just sitting there just shaking my head like an absolute idiot, just going, I'm actually listening to this conversation. And it literally sounded like I was like in a Harold and Kumar movie. I mean, it was just unbelievable. So there you go. And no, I don't think either of them were stoned. It's I can't vouch for it, but I wasn't, no drug tests were taken. But I think by the way they behaved, I think they were relatively sober. So there you go. Yeah, so that's the conversation I had. I overheard. It's yeah. Fun fact, Naples, Italy thought about changing the town's name to Domino's. Oh, probably not. John Oliver, I'm surprised you know who Harold and Kumar even are. Of course I know who Harold and Kumar are, John. Come on. I know who Harold and Kumar are. My God. I want to try Fresh White Castle. Yep, Fresh White Castle. I'll tell you what, I had not been to a White Castle in a number of years. And when I was up in Minnesota, I need to get something to eat. And I was hoping for a McDonald's for breakfast, but I stopped into White Castle. It was solid. It was solid eating. Here's the thing, gang. Kumar was our ambassador to something a few years ago. Yeah, that's crazy. Stone guy doing that. So you finally understand access to watch Stormtroopers 2. Should be watching the next couple of days. There you go. Yeah, you finally have access. Excellent. Yeah, I've got some stuff to watch. I ate my big meal about a half hour ago, which is good for the day, and then I'll do a light meal later on. So it's all good. Allie Sean at the New Jersey Aquarium Society meeting, Rosaria LaCorte presentation through Zoom. Nice. So log into their gang if you want to go out and check that out. That's awesome. Yeah, it's yeah, the Jets. At least the guy with the Mets is spending money. I don't know if we're going to see a baseball season this year, but yeah, it's all good. Alishon's part owner of the Jets. Anyone can be a part owner of the Green Bay Packers, but it's the Packers. As a Minnesota sports fan, you have you hate the Bears, you hate the Lions, but it's pure utter horrific rage about the Packers. They suck. Even if there's no 2022 Major League Baseball season, the Mets will finish last or first, however you want to call it, a tie. It does not sound. I was listening to ESPN this morning as I was driving around doing my errands, and it doesn't sound like they've moved much at all. I don't think it's. I have a feeling we're going to be at the 4th of July, and just getting ready for baseball then. And that's going to ruin some good summertime. I love going out to a baseball field, smelling the smell. Now that they don't allow people to smoke cigars inside the baseball stadium, real pain in the neck. But the smell of cigars and beer and hot dogs and peanuts. Oh my God, the crack of the bat. It's just amazing. Yes, here's what they're fighting over. MLB is arguing because they want to protect small market teams. The players union wants the idea that everyone is getting, is that the most money, the better. And if only New York and Los Angeles win every year, that's fine with them. The Dodgers win every year. That's it. That's all they care about. And Boston, they love the Boston because they have an owner that'll write huge checks. That's essentially what this is about. And the one thing that they have discussed is that universal designated hitter, which I think is fine. I grew up in the American League, so the designated hitter thing is fine with me. I know a lot of people who are National League people. They love the idea of the pitcher hitting. It's most of the time it's an automatic out, so it's kind of a waste of space. So they also have the league is going to eliminate looking for steroids. They're no longer going to test for steroids. So home runs aplenty. You don't want the DH? Yeah, you see, you're a purist. I lived and went to, I've probably been to 10 Atlanta Braves games. And this is back when they were good. When Ike Cox was the coach and with those great pitchers and hitters, Chipper Jones and the whole bit. And, I get why people like it. It's part of the tradition. Hey, this guy's a player on the field. He should be able to hit like everybody else. All right, that's fine. But looks like the designated hitter, whenever they get this thing done, will be universal across the league. Alishon wants to designate hitter so that Bobby Bonilla can make a comeback while he's still being paid as a Met. When does Bobby Bonilla's contract come up, by the way? Let me look that up. No, it's frustration. All right, very good. It's $500,000 a year for 25 years. That's pretty good. When does that sucker run out? Oh God, it started on July 1st, 2011, and includes a negotiate 8% interest. And they put the money in with Bernie Madoff. So this is going to be going to 2036. Sounds like a pretty good retirement program to me. Hey, Melvin. What's up, my friend? How are you? I know next week John Oliver is going to be going to Aquashella. Anybody else going to Aquashella next week? I'm not. I'm going to tell you, Melvin probably be a better mayor of Pittsburgh than whoever is currently doing the job. Melvin should be the mayor of Philadelphia. He'd put an end to those ATMs blowing up and the killing fields that happen after midnight at cheesesteak places. I'm glad, Melvin. Hey, Jeff with Valley Fish. How you doing? How are you fish doing? I joked about not going to Aquashella and no one got the sarcasm. Yeah. What's going on in Iowa? You should be, it's probably, is it warming up today? It was probably colder than a grave digger's butt for a few days there earlier this week. It got down to single digits here in Joplin, Mo. Just one time yesterday morning. Now it's 40 degrees and beautifully sunny. It's nice. Really nice. And by the way, I am doing laundry. I have a load in the dryer right now. And I have to figure out what my problem is. I got like this thing and it's for whatever reason not doing it. Fish doing good, doing water changes, jumped across the river now. Oh, you're in Nebraska. Cheaper taxes. Time to start the day. Have a good one, everyone. Go ahead, Anthony. Go make some money. You need more guppies. Own on both sides now. Okay. So you're some sort of a real estate entrepreneur here, Jeff? You give us real estate investing tips? We need it. I know I do. Doug, maybe. You did some tank stuff earlier, fed the fish, doing the monsters in the pond. Now I'm sitting down for a bit before I start doing laundry. Yep. Yeah, I've got to do some stuff with the fish. Yeah, you pay lots of taxes. Yeah. The price of my home, if I sold it today, would be 60% higher than what I purchased for my home less than 2 years ago. I closed on my house on March 2nd, 2020. And the real estate market here has gone through the roof. Well, Missouri has some crazy rules and crazy laws and stuff. My property taxes went up, pretty good, considering, I bought the house at a certain price. I don't quite get it. Rob misses everything went up 60%, so can't really upgrade without a fortune. Yeah, it's I'm waiting for real estate values to fall where I'm at. The deal here's what's going on in my community is that they just in the last couple of years opened up a medical school and a dental school. And a lot of these people are like the children of dentists and doctors. So their parents are buying them homes. And of course, the other reason why is that it's so expensive to build a new home. The price of lumber has been ridiculous, so they're not doing it. One free carjacking with every home purchased in parts of Philly. That's fantastic. Good old fashioned carjacking. I cannot be carjacked. They could try it, but they wouldn't be able to do it. Because my car is a 6-speed manual transmission. It's like one of the few geezer things I have. My car cannot even be stolen. I could go to the convenience store in a sketchy neighborhood, roll down the window, leave the car on. There you go. Phone auto type kills you every time. Phone didn't charge last night, so I plugged it into the floor. It's okay. No worries. That's correct, Lady Metalhead. Perfect. You see, I can go into bad neighborhoods, leave the car running, with the window rolled down as I go in, get my Slurpee, come back, and even if they try to do it, they won't be able to do it. It's like great. They'll look at the pedals going, what? I don't know what this is. So there you go. In many ways, I wish they would steal my car, but they can't. Jeffrey Cunningham, how are you? How are your Roebuck Reds? How's your fish room? Great having you here. My what else is going on in my little world? Been so busy. Yeah, work we're short people. And it just, I would like to take a few days off and I can't do it because there's no one to do the job. Okay, no problem, Jeff. Thanks for watching on the tube. Yeah, I like watching on the tube, but yeah, you end up being a lurker during people's live streams. Your job forces you to take an hour nap every day around 2. You see, there you go. I may take a nap today. Maggie woke me up at the normal time, so 3:30. She's now, in her kennel sleeping away. She hasn't quite figured out yet. The dog has yet to figure out. Then when she's out with me, she can lay down and do nothing. Doing well after last year's heat wave, 3 days above 110. Even struggling with the res, think they had a bacteria bloom. Now I had my first drop of fries, so I'm happy. Excellent. Yeah, real hot weather ain't good. Jeffrey, no, I've been too busy, but I will. I have everything. I just haven't put it up. I've got a guy at the office that I'll have to get in here and do that up. Maggie, I have, her show career is here. So there's going to be some weekends I'm going to be missing, gang. She's headed to, now I'm not going to be able to go in about 3 weeks. She's going to be in Kerrville, Texas, in the Texas Hill Country. 6 shows, 4 days. So hopefully she picks up a major or two. And for dogs, if I'm repeating myself, I apologize. You have to have 2 majors. It's like 17 points, but you have to have 2 majors. They're 3, 4, or 5-point majors. It depends on the area of the country and how many dogs are entered. Here's the deal. There are 2 Brittany Club specialties, plus the 4 all breed shows. It'll be 5-point majors for all 6 of those shows. So technically, she could walk out as a champion. Will Alishan still drive over and take care of my fish? I'm sure he will. These New Jersey people, Doug, are very polite and kind. You know what I miss about New Jersey and New York? People have this reputation that, that they're, quote unquote, the people are rude. No, they're direct. There's a difference. It's being direct that's just sort of how they speak. Direct, to the point, and they'd be more than happy to help anybody. I mean, I'll tell you what, my time in New York and New Jersey, I felt the people were as helpful as any group of people. And I've lived all over the country. Lived in the Southeast. I've lived in the West. I've lived in the Midwest, Upper Midwest. So there you go. Bagels. I miss bagels. A good bagel. The only occasionally what I do for my bagel fix, Jeffrey, is that, and again, you can't really buy good bagels here. You just can't. And by the way, Michael of Michael's Fish Room, he's like promised to send me good bagels. And I'm still waiting, Michael. I'm still waiting on those good bagels. Just scan your car, Peter, to be Autobot and Decepticon, so transform into a giant robot to scare the thieves away. When I lived in the South, I couldn't locate a good bagel within 1,000 miles. Yeah, there's a chain, and it's not near me. It's about an hour away. And on like a Saturday or Sunday morning, if I feel motivated, I'll make the drive. It's either going to Springfield, Missouri, or Rogers, Arkansas, to Einstein's, which is okay. It's is it like the best bagel joint you could get, in New York or Chicago or Minneapolis? Yeah, no. But is it, does it do the trick? Yes. So occasionally I will go and buy a thing of bagels. Buy cream cheese, plain cream cheese, Philly. None of that discount cream cheese crap. And I'll get smoked salmon. So I'll do the bagels and lox. And I do that a couple of times a year, and I love it. Absolutely. Costco's really good bagels, and they're cheap. Excellent. The bagels that I get here are okay. They're fine. But it's, cream cheese is fine and smoked salmon's fine. Makes it worth. Now, bagels and lox, a lot of times people will put on, and Doug, you tell us how you like it. Some people put If you go to some restaurants, they'll put capers, onion, and tomato on it. Screw that. No capers, no onion, no tomato. I want to taste the smoked salmon, and I want to taste that bagel and cream cheese. That's it. And sometimes I'll ask for extra cream cheese. Yeah, it's all good. Okay, Doug, your time is coming up pretty quick. Doug was guessing what time the dryer goes off. Yep, toasted bagel, cream cheese, and lox. Yep, you and me both. I prefer an everything bagel. Some people will scoff at that and they say onion bagel or not onion, salt bagel or nothing. I prefer and like the everything bagel. I just like it. Uh, so onion bagel is fine. Sesame seed bagel is fine. I just prefer the everything. I think it has that good taste. Garlic bagel is good, especially if you don't have to be around people for a day or two. You get the sesame bagels. Yeah, those are good. I have a friend of mine from Long Island, and I get Jeffrey. I get frozen bloodworms every once in a while. I'll get that, one of the main brands, and I will sometimes add them to my feeding with the baby brine shrimp. I put them in my condiment thing. I shake it up, make sure they're nice and ready to go. I don't do it on a regular basis. I I I enjoy. I think they're fine. It's but I look at them as a treat, and it's nothing that baby guppies can eat. It's just the adults, and some people, if they have their female off in a different tank, getting ready to drop or fry, some people will feed a little bit of bloodworms to her so she doesn't eat her babies. I've never tried that. I don't know if it works. Doug, have you ever given that a shot? Now, we're getting uptown here in Joplin. We're getting a raisin canes. Uh, I would prefer that we would be getting a Zaxby's, which I think is better. If you've not had a Zaxby's, the same food as Raisin Canes. In my opinion, their chicken is always moist. Sometimes Zaxby's or Raisin Canes chicken can be kind of dry. The bread at Raisin Canes is a little bit thicker. You still think bloodworms carry disease? Got through grad school on canes? You only feed them to the axolotls and the cichlids. And cories. And nothing wrong with that. I do a wide variety of frozen foods. In fact, I need to pick some more up. Um, it's I usually do the cyclops. I do daphnia. I pick those up on a regular basis. Works out just fine. Chewy. Well, I freeze mine. I freeze my blood. I get the frozen bloodworms. I watched some, or I read. I don't even know if I watched a video or read something on how to go out and harvest your own bloodworms. How you set it up on your deck in a thing of water, make sure it's covered, and it was quite involved. I've generally found that with mosquito larvae, which is bloodworms are, if there's water sitting somewhere, they're going to go and you're going to get some baby, you're going to get some larvae. Blackworms can carry bacterial disease as well. Yeah, blackworms, I've heard more about that than I've had bloodworms, to be fair. I've heard more problems with the blackworms than I have bloodworms. But, and in my experiences with the frozen, go from there. Cyclops prefer to be just known as visually challenged now. Yes. Yes, the daphnia, cyclops. Sometimes I'll throw in one of each into the mixture with fresh baby brine shrimp, so the fish get a wide variety of stuff. No buzzer, no dryer buzz yet, but it's coming. I turned it on right before I started. There's only a few worms that are safe, like micro worms, banana worms, grindle worms. Are those all good? I need to do grindle worms to try that out. My deal with micro worms and banana worms is that it begins to smell like death. White worms and earthworms. Red wigglers, the Cadillac of worms. The Cadillac of worms, everybody. So there you go. Can't go wrong with that whatsoever. I think you're coming around to the line of thinking. I've heard most commercial bloodworms are fed on sewage, much like tube effects. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. That's okay. Well, maybe I don't do that anymore. Maybe I avoid that. Yeah, it certainly is problematic. A lot of things have to do with what the organism is being fed. Well, technically, we all make sewage, unless you're like out in Canada and they, go from there. You also had to laugh at yourself because it feels like I give my fish food more thought than my own. Yeah, that's the deal, Jeffrey. You see, you go to any pet store. So let's talk about worms. You think you may order pizza for lunch from Domino's? That's great. Garden insecticides. That's why I only work with. That's the only thing why I work with red wigglers, the Cadillac worms. Honk honk. You have to watch out for that too. There's food on the market that actually has pesticides in them. Chewy is correct. There you go. Confirmation from Doug Gray. I put out bird food for the first time in a couple of months. I'm still waiting for the birds to show up. By the way, if you are a dog owner, um, how many of you used antlers for your dogs to chew on? I picked up a couple. She seems to be pretty good about it. She seems to like it, but she really loves. I have like a cow hoof here, and she goes nuts on that. Uh, but I'll tell you what, and the issue of parasites and water ways have a lot to do with the issues of the Lacey Act. In the States has to do with cutting down on pathogens. Oh God, really? Fish coming in with a vet certification. Oh brother, certification. The fish look great to me. I checked. I didn't see anything crazy. There are cases of ick in U.S. waterways. Is ick an invasive illness? They're supposed to have spots. I swear. Send them through. Snakeheads will cure the ick. Yeah, snakeheads are everywhere. Snakeheads, snakeheads. Roly poly snakeheads. Snakeheads, snakeheads. Eat them up. Yum. Ick is a tropical temperature disease. Now it's come point where the pathogen reports are hitting the government. Oh, it's great. It'd be great if our politicians got the ick. What do you think? I'd be all in. Been out of the loop here. You follow the Lacey Act Amendment stuff, Peter? Not as closely as I probably should. Jeffrey, probably not as good as I should. Anyone else getting emails to hook up with Ukrainian girls? No, Doug, I'm not. I bet a lot of Ukrainian girls want out of the Ukraine. They have Vlad and and all the different Russian guys show up. Stalin and Leonid. Yeah, the Ukrainian girls want to get out. The Russian girls want to get out as well, primarily because all their men are drunks. Yeah, Russia will be rolling through the Ukraine before you know it. I have no interest in war, but wouldn't it be better if we just put like 20,000 U.S. troops there? Wouldn't that stop it? Wonder if they look like the old East German Olympic weightlifters. Ukrainian ladies? I don't know. That's a good question. No, it's true that COVID is a deal. 20 years ago, Cosmo Kramer said the Ukraine is weak. Did he really? Did the Kramer character say that? Hilarious. I wonder if remember the guy that Kramer was based on, who was actually Jerry's neighbor? I wonder if that guy's still cashed in on it, because he was like cashed in on everything. Yes, he was playing Newman in the game of Risk in the Subway. There you go. Soup Nazi cashes in. Yep. Oh, there you go. 12:42 Central Time, 1:42 Eastern, 10:42 Pacific. Who had that? At certain temperatures, ick is dormant. You're off by this close. I was washing pants. Having clean pants, usually pretty good. And, normally when you go to the office, they want to see you in pants. They want to see you in pants all the way around. It's crazy. Lows and high temperature range. One of the members from the directorship stated that Waterway had it, and discussion had the government vet. Huh. That's how I'm convinced to let me work from home. Haven't worn pants in 2 years. Won't restart now. Yeah, except for the days where it's like really below about 20. When I get home, first thing I do is put on shorts. I'm in shorts right now. You want to see? Yeah, but that's a real pain in the butt, Chewy. There's a price to be paid for an international trade. Is that, yeah, we pass stuff around. When Columbus came to the New World, it's often brought on that he brought uh, smallpox to the indigenous people. They had, hey, Petroman 1185, what's up, Mr. CB? That they were not exposed to smallpox. Well, do you know what? There were three things that Columbus's team brought back to the old world: potatoes, sugar, and last but not least, syphilis. Well, Florida's a nightmare in many ways. It's a nightmare in many ways, Chewy. Chris had his way with Indian women. No way he was a saint. You like St. Augustine? St. Augustine's a good one. See you later, Jeffrey. Have a good one. Enjoy. Tetracycline is not considered a good antibiotic anymore. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I generally only take antibiotics. Usually, I've gone years without taking them. I've had a couple of hand infections from hangnails where I have been on antibiotics twice in the last year. So there you go. Let's see what this is. Hold on a second here. Hello, I'm on my Zoom call with my fish friends. Can I call you back? Okay, excellent. Yeah, I'll call you a little bit. Bye bye. It was my friend checking in and see what kind of trouble I'm in. It was not David Childress. Close, but it was a woman, a female type. And she has yet to see all my aquariums. She will. And we'll see where this is going. Sodium and heat are environmentally more friendly. Yeah, well, no matter what here, see the aquariums and much, much more. That's right. Got a dog. I have a neat couch. Noticing, like, from where I put my head on the couch, there's like a stain there. I'm going to have to get my couch cleaned. Sort of an old couch. I probably need to get a new one, anyways. Maybe I need to get one of those leather ones, that with the legs go up, become a giant recliner. It's all good in the hood. I may have to go and walk into a furniture store. I've done. The laws came down in Canada where you cannot use drugs without prescriptions. And the government is talking about banning due to the threat to your environment. They're banning a lot of stuff in Canada these days. Joey or Kaler, Bob Kaler. Yeah, I don't need that, Kaler. I don't need that one that lifts me up. I do have a recliner over on the other side of the room. But you can keep Asian arowanas. There you go. By the way, did you guys see the preview for the new Elvis movie? It's like Elvis meets Bob Fosse. Ladies and gentlemen, starring as Elvis, Tommy Tune. Yeah, that's true. And I have this right now because of yeah, I it's easier to be on the computer. I'd only watch that movie if Bob Kaler gives it a thumbs up. Yeah, with Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker, who was not a colonel, and his name was not Tom Parker. He sort of changed it to that. He sent you the preview. The trailer for the movie is actually really good. Is actually really really good. I wonder if they get into Fat Elvis. I hope they don't have him dying on the John, which would be bad. Which would be bad. So next week I was sort of planning on going to Hot Springs, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. Think time wise, it's just not going to work. Hot Springs isn't that far away, but I could have done the later role, but but do not crave the fame. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you're sort of in the thing where, Bob, I don't know your personal health history or anything like that. I hate to be presumptuous, but you don't seem quite like the fellow who's going to be dying on the pot tomorrow. That's not a good way to go in the middle of doing your business. Yeah, the movie trailer looks really good. How many movies about Elvis have there been? Way too many. Just way too many, way over the top. Codfather has to maintain a low profile. Yep. As he should. It's your select community there. Elvis never had 40 tanks of fish and reptiles in his home, so he was no Bob Kaler. That's right. Perhaps if Elvis wasn't getting up on the drugs all the time and keeping fish, he would have lived to a ripe old age. He probably would have been dead by now, anyways, because I think, right, if he was still alive, he'd be like 85. So it's, yeah, Elvis, yeah, he's left the building. Perhaps if he hadn't have died on that fateful day on the John, if I said that enough, he would have, he didn't look like he was not in the physical shape one would think of as somebody making it to 85. And so I have a buddy of mine who was very pending on his grandparents. And the grandmother from this is like I've known this guy for like 40 years. The grandmother was like she was like in her mid 70s at this point, in terrible health. His grandfather was in great health. The grandmother outlived the grandfather. So there you go. Oh, he has to go to a birthday party for his sister. What would be better? Looking at reptiles or hanging out with your fam? I think reptiles sounds like a much stronger deal. That just means that Ed doesn't plan on waking up before 6. Yeah, probably so. Probably so. All right, gang, we've been here for an hour. Thank you so much. And we will see you next week. And I may put out another couple of flash videos. You'll have to stand by and see.